Wait, you're the cleaner's son. Can you even speak your own language? What are you even doing in this boardroom? Before we begin, let me know in the comments where in the world you're watching from. Your country, your city, your story matters here. And if you believe greatness can rise from anywhere, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories that touch the soul. The laughter was instant, echoing off the glass walls of the towering skyscraper that overlooked the heart of Dubai, the skyline glittering with gold reflections from the late afternoon sun, a symbol of wealth and power. Yet inside this room, all that power was laughing at a boy. Executives in tailored suits leaned back in their chairs, smirking, some sipping expensive Arabic coffee from gold-rimmed cups, their voices dripping with disbelief. At the far end of the polished oak table, a boy no older than 14 stood, awkwardly, his school backpack hanging off one shoulder, his sneakers too worn for the polished marble floor beneath him. He wasn't supposed to be here, not in this tower of authority. Not in this world of men whose watches cost more than his father's yearly salary. But life had a strange way of putting people in rooms they never imagined, especially when destiny demanded to be seen. One man, a tall Emirati businessman in chic Khalid Al-Mansur, leaned forward, a smirk tugging at his lips, his white kandora immaculate. His voice filled the room like thunder, both charming and cruel. And what makes you think you can sit at this table? Boy, do you even know what we're discussing? Stocks, oil, real estate. This isn't a school cafeteria, little one. The executives chuckled again, their laughter rolling like a wave, polite yet poisonous. The boy said nothing at first. His gaze dropped, his fingers tightening around the strap of his backpack, the way someone might hold on to courage itself. His name was Kelechi, the son of a Nigerian janitor who worked nights cleaning this very building, polishing the floors these men walked on, without noticing the shine beneath their shoes. He could still remember the smell of his father's cleaning gloves, the faint sound of his humming, while mopping late into the night, saying, "Son, no work is small if done with pride." But pride wasn't what the room saw now. The room saw dirt. The room saw the son of a cleaner standing where CEOs made million-dirham deals. Kelechi lifted his eyes slowly, and now his voice trembled at first. It carried something the room hadn't heard before, quiet power. "I speak 9 languages," he said softly. The laughter was instant and louder than before, a storm of disbelief and mockery. Sheikh Khalid slapped the table, chuckling. 9 languages. Boy, even I barely manage 2. Arabic and English, and I have 3 secretaries for translation. But Kelechi didn't smile. His eyes remained steady, calm like still water before a storm. Then he spoke again, his words deliberate, precise, almost like music. Arabic, English, French, Spanish, Mandarin, Russian, German, Hindi, and Yoruba. The laughter began to fade, replaced by murmurs. A few executives leaned forward, eyes narrowing, curiosity replacing arrogance. Kelechi continued, switching seamlessly between languages, greeting each man in his mother tongue, his accent sharp, his pronunciation flawless. When he spoke in Arabic, even Sheikh Khalid's confident smirk faltered, because the boy's tone carried not just correctness, but respect, the kind that demanded silence. For a long moment, nobody spoke. The sound of the city below, the horns, the hum of life, seemed to vanish, leaving only that echo of words that hung heavy in the air. Kelechi single quotes S voice softened as he said, "My father cleans this building. Every night, after all of you leave, he collects the newspapers and books you throw away. He can't read them, but he brings them home to me. And that's how I learned." He paused, his chest rising, eyes glistening with emotion he refused to let fall. "He told me knowledge is the only thing they can never take away. So I took it, every page, every word, every language, until even the silence of the night spoke to me." The room had changed. What had begun as a mockery now felt like revelation. The men who moments ago saw a cleaner's son now saw something they couldn't label. a mind sharper than their arrogance, a strength they couldn't measure in money. Sheikh Khalid's smile was gone. His hand rested flat on the table as he studied the boy. "You speak Arabic?" "Perfectly," he said quietly, his tone no longer mocking. Kelechi nodded once. "My father said, if I want to work among kings, I must first learn their language." Silence. Heavy, humbling silence. The executives shifted in their seats. One man cleared his throat. Another looked away. For the first time, no one laughed. Then Khalid stood, his tall frame casting a shadow over the table, but his eyes held something unexpected: respect. He walked slowly around the table, his sandals quiet against the marble, stopping in front of Kelechi. He studied him for a long moment before placing a hand gently on his shoulder. "You have just done what no one in this room could do," he said, his voice softer now, yet commanding. "You reminded us that brilliance doesn't wear a uniform, it doesn't need permission, and it doesn't come wrapped in gold." Kelechi's breath hitched, but he didn't look away. Khalid turned to the others, his gaze sharp. "All of you laughed, but this boy, this cleaner's son, carries more potential in his mind than many of us have in our entire boardroom." Murmurs rose again, but now the tone was different. Shame, awe, respect. The sheikh continued, "We build towers, but we forget who polishes the floors beneath them. We chase numbers, but we forget the hands that make our world shine." This boy is proof that diamonds are not always found in mines. Sometimes they walk in quietly, carrying books instead of business cards. Kelechi blinked rapidly, trying to understand what was happening. Sheikh Khalid turned back to him. "What do you want to be, son?" Kelechi hesitated, then said, "A diplomat. Someone who helps people understand each other. Words can build bridges, just like my father builds clean floors for people to walk together." Khalid smiled, pride flickering in his eyes. "Then you'll need a place to start." He turned toward one of the executives, his tone sharp again. "Get this boy enrolled in the best international school in Dubai. The company will sponsor his education. His father will continue working here, but under a new title, facility supervisor, and with triple his current pay." The man's jaw dropped, but he quickly nodded. Kelechi's breath caught in his throat, tears threatening to fall. He turned to the sheikh, his lips trembling. "Sir, I don't know what to say." "Then don't," Khalid said kindly. "Just remember where you came from, and one day, help another boy like yourself find his place at the table." The executives were silent, some clapping lightly, some too ashamed to meet the boy's eyes. And as Kelechi walked out of that glass boardroom beside his father, who had been waiting outside anxiously, the look on his father's face was something he would never forget. Pride, tears, disbelief, all in one trembling smile. His father whispered, "You did it, my son." Kelechi looked up at the shining towers of Dubai, his heart full. "No, Papa," he said quietly, "we did it." The camera would fade out. There, if this were a movie, the father and son walking into the sunset with the skyline glowing behind them, the golden sandstorm winds brushing against their faces, carrying the echo of one truth: greatness can rise from anywhere, and respect, once earned, can silence even the proudest laughter. Because that day, the cleaner's son didn't just speak 9 languages, he spoke the universal language of dignity, and the whole boardroom understood it. If this story touched you, don't scroll away. Drop a comment and tell me where in the world you're watching from, because your story might be next. Give this video a thumbs up if you believe respect is earned, not inherited. And make sure you subscribe for more powerful, emotional stories that remind us it's not where you start that matters, it's how far your courage can take you.